Hi guys, this is Jeffrey, JGB 146 for GrinderSchool.com. As you can see from the button I'm wearing, ooh, pretty, I've sold out. You know, it's not really selling out if it's your own company. Wait, you mean I can promote my site and still maintain a high moral ground? Awesome! I guess that means I'm going to have to keep working if I want to actually sell out. Hey, maybe you or one of your friends could help me out. If you're interested in purchasing advertising from GrinderSchool.com, either for these types of videos, for the GrinderSchool.com poker podcast that's released every week for free to hundreds or thousands or however many people pick it up off of iTunes or our website or Facebook or wherever else we post it, Twitter, cool. Or if you want to advertise on the GrinderSchool.com website, any of these apply to you, then just send me an email at admin@grinderschool.com and we can sort out rates. That said, let's go ahead and get into the content this week. This week we're going to be looking at a few late game sit-and-go scenarios. It's some stuff that really experienced sit-and-go players are probably pretty familiar with, but if you're new to sit-and-go play, or you happen to have some leaks that you didn't know about, it should be helpful. And really, the goal is to help you avoid spewing off dollars, not just chips, but real dollars, in the long run in situations that you can completely avoid. Let's dig in. Okay, so we're on the bubble of a sit-and-go. We have pocket kings, and we love it, right? It's going to fold to us a lot of the time. We're going to shove. We're going to take the big blind. We actually might not even shove here. We're going to raise, get some action maybe, whatever. We're going to get chips with kings. Yay, great situation. We see it fold. We get a shove from the player in the button who's, his shoving range here should be pretty tight, but whatever. We're not going to think about that because we're going to get into some other situations that I want to talk about a little bit more. Here I'm going to make a mistake and fold, and nothing really happened. Right, the button stole, and we made a mistake. I want to go over really quickly why it was a mistake. We'll pull up SNG Wiz, and here you can see, assuming that he's shoving with 25% of hands, which is probably not completely accurate, given that he's shoving for 20 big blinds, so we can adjust that. But if he is shoving with 25%, kings is huge. We have a huge edge, and we do want to shove it. But we'll adjust the range here, just for argument's sake. Adjust it down. We'll make him a very tight player that's only shoving 5%. And you can see, even with that tight a range, only shoving 5%, ace, queen and better, and nines and better, we're still getting a good price to shove with the kings here. So now we're going to look at the same situation, but the blinds are bigger. So now more people's stacks are in. It's more important to win the pot, etc., etc. Again, we get a shove. Again, it's on us. But now the big blind has more of his stack in. This is a situation where people are going to be more inclined to make a mistake and fold too many hands. We do it again and fold the kings again. And again, it is a mistake. Folds. Button picks up chips. Let's look at that one in SNG Wiz. Okay, so again, we're seeing the same types of ranges. 25%. Still telling us to push jacks or better. And we still get a pretty good price to do so, given our equity. Again, let's take a look at what happens if we shrink this down to like 5% for a nitty raiser. And again, still a shove. We're going to look at one final situation, and this is the whole key that I wanted to talk about today. Okay, so here's the final situation that I want to lay out for you. Say something had happened that had caused the big blind to be incredibly short. He's only got 500 chips. Under the gun players lost a few chips too. He's only got 2,000. And then between the button and us, we have the rest of the chips. So 6,000 for him, 5,000 for us. We're in a great spot in the tournament, and he goes ahead and he shoves here. This is a spot where we go ahead, we fold, and we're actually correct to do so because the other two players are so short. So that's the key, that the blinds are big and that they're not quite as big relative to our stack. If we had 500 chips here, we would probably still need a shove. Actually, if we had 500 chips, we can look at that. But anyway, let's look at this situation in SNG Wiz real quick. So as you can see now, because the big blind has so much of his stack in already, and because we actually have a pretty reasonable stack to go ahead and continue on in the tournament and do well, it's actually a fold with anything but aces here. And then that's against the opening range 25%. If we tighten his range down, our chances get worse because more and more of the hands that we dominate are removed. We'll go ahead and take a look, since I mentioned it before, about the 500 chip situation. see how that pans out for us. So we'll just take 4,500 chips from our stack, give them to the under the gun player, and there we go. Okay, if we had 500 chips, it would be a shove because, again, at that point, so much of our stack is already in the middle. So hopefully this has been a little eye-opening to at least some of you out there that, even if you have a big hand, if stack sizes are pretty extreme, then you need to be careful about playing. When you have short stacks left in, because if you've bust out, you're losing such a huge portion of the prize pool. Alrighty. Well, hopefully that was enlightening to any newcomers to the sit and go format. Basically, the key is that when you're on the bubble with the big stack and facing another big stack, as well as two short stacks, or even really one super short opponent, you don't want to get all the money in and risk the chance of busting out of the tournament. It's just not a plus EV situation, really regardless of how strong your hand is. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap things up this week with a word from our sponsors. Me. So yeah, it's me again, pimpinggrinderschool.com. Once again, it's a low-stakes poker training website that I think is one of the better ones on the internet. Basically, what makes us unique is that we do focus on the low stakes. We try to bring some content, some real good strategy to the lower stakes games that are really ignored by most of the bigger training sites. We've also got a weekly poker podcast that is free to anyone who's interested. And I put in a good word to our executives. So what? Basically you had an idea and you talked to yourself about it and decided that you liked it and so you're going for it? Yeah, okay. I'll take that. I'll accept that. But anyway, the result is that anyone who signs up and lists PokerTube or YouTube as their referral will end up getting a $5 rebate on any subscription we offer. It'll come back to you at the end of the month after you signed up, and that's all you have to do is list PokerTube or YouTube. So, yay, go for it. Good luck at the tables. I'll see you next time.